Magandang hapon po mga katribu and welcome to another episode of Be Well Now. Hindi kahapon, hindi bukas, kundi ngayon din. Kasama po natin ang ating balik Be Well Now, ang ating very special guest. Siya po ay isang wellness and well-being coach. Please welcome Baby Kramer.
Magandang hapon, Cory. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. I'm glad to be back. Salamat for inviting me again. Always glad to be here.
Wow, baby. Ang ganda ng bagong program nyo para sa hindi lamang sa kalusugan ng katawan, kundi pati na rin kalusugan ng ating kaisipan at kaluluwa. Right? And it is breathing the art of healing.
Yes.
Diba? How does that work, baby? Alam ko mayroon kayong mga workshops. Please share with us the good news. And then if you can give us some tips on how to breathe so we can heal.
Okay. All right. Breathing is one of the most natural bodily functions, right? Hindi natin kailangan pag-isipan pa yung huminga, correct? So yung hinga, yung huminga is a natural process. Habang natutulog tayo, di ba? While you're sitting. So hindi kailangan pag-isipan pa kagaya ng kung kailangan mahawakan ng isang gamit or move your body, pang-exercise, di ba? And in breathing, we actually breathe about 12 to 20 times per minute.
12 to 20 times per minute without even knowing it, di ba?
Without even knowing it. Yeah, that's just your natural, di ba? Intake, uptake. And so in a day, can you imagine in a day, that's 20,000 breaths.
My goodness, mga katribu, 20,000 breaths in one day, including evening, kahit tulog.
Oo, kahit tulog and all. So this is just our natural body rhythm. So we take it for granted, right? Pwede kang mag-diet or mag-fasting maski 2 linggo, di ba? Hindi ka mamamatay unless may underlying issues. Pero even more than 2 minutes na hindi ka hihinga, you'll have brain damage, you'll have cellular damage, di ba? It's the most important bodily function.
Right? Kaya pala, like this morning, may dumaan na kotse and syempre nagbuga siya ng exhaust fumes na, I had to close my nose, cover my nose like this. 10 seconds lang na hindi ako huminga. Parang humihina na ang katawan.
Yeah, mahihilo ka, di ba? Because that's what oxygenizes the blood, it goes to the muscles. Kaya minsan, di ba, people who suddenly exercise, yung sumasakit yung muscle, tapos di ba, nawawalan ng hinga, it's because you're not getting enough oxygen intake. So even that kasi is a practice. You have to work the muscles. Okay, the natural apparatus of the respiratory system starts about with the nose or the mouth, right? And it goes down the windpipe and into the lungs. But you need all this muscular system around you. Yung pinakauna, yung diaphragm, no? Yun yung breathing muscle natin, right? The diaphragm is right below the rib cage, correct? No? Yeah, diba? That expands when you breathe in.
Hanapin natin ang ating diaphragm.
Okay, so right below the rib cage, diba? Above that belly button, that whole area. So when you inhale, that expands, no? And then when you exhale, that's supposed to go in to push in your ribs to expel all the air out of the lungs. No?
So what's the proper way of breathing?
Well, proper way of breathing, it should be that one, a nice big, if you're just normal breathing, it's through our nostrils, correct? Kung walang blockages. So you just like breathe in nice and deep, and it shouldn't be dito lang eh. Kasi minsan dito lang tayo humihinga, di ba dito? And then out.
That's shallow breathing, di ba?
That's shallow breathing. Oo. So that doesn't...
Tawag nilang deep breathing.
So deep breathing is when you need to ayun, kailangan na natin lahat ng muscular system supporting the breathing. So the respiratory system is yun, pero kailangan din natin the muscles around the stomach, the muscles around the rib cage, and even the shoulders. If you'll notice, diba, when you breathe, even your shoulders rise. And all of your pectoral area, your rib cage expands. So sinasabi nga nila, usually instructions when you're doing like yoga, pilates, mga ganito, or exercise, but you breathe into your sides or to your back, into the back of your ribs dito. Dapat mag-expand rin dito. So hindi lang dito, no? Hindi lang dapat dito yung expansion. Pero even sideways and to the back, yung 3D breathing na tinatawag. So it's actually a concerted effort. Hindi lang yung no? So like it's even when you hyperventilate. That's why when you hyperventilate, the body needs to quickly extract oxygen. But when you're like supposed to be relaxed and you're in meditative state, or when you're trying to really, di ba, bago ka magalit or explode or something, and they tell you, count 10 seconds and breathe. So that's what it takes to breathe. Inhale. And then even when you exhale, talagang you contract those muscles, talagang lalabas lahat, no, to expel all of that air. So then you have a fresh intake of oxygen. Our cells use that. It becomes carbon dioxide, correct? And then you have to let that come out.
Kaya sabi nila mas maigi kung may halaman katabi mo, nasa tabi mo. Kasi when you exhale, yan ang hinahanap naman ng mga halaman.
Halaman, right? That isn't nature fantastic? We have this symbiotic relationship. That's why they say, di ba, go out in nature, walk through the woods, hug a tree, because of our relationship now with nature, with plants, right? Imagine that they inhale the carbon dioxide and they replenish our oxygen, and we're the opposite naman, no? So you have this symbiotic relationship. So whoever created or however the earth is made, we all are working in symbiosis. So now, like let's do an exercise, okay? Like
Okay,
when
exercise
you
tayo mga
okay,
katribo.
diba? No, just to see, like you see, so when you do a fist, diba? Gumawa kayo ng kamao, okay? Diba, you're here. And when you clench that, no? So ikuyom nyo, talagang clench. What do you notice? Are you breathing? Or did you hold your breath?
Hindi.
Right? You naturally hold your breath. Even this action. This is an action of tension, of already attack, we hold our breath na kagad. So can you imagine if you're always in that kind of a state of agitation, di ba? Then try to breathe. Keep that really, talagang tigasan ninyo. Then try to breathe. What's the tendency? Parang you want to let go, right? When you're going to exhale. It's hard to keep breathing while this is tight. Diba? But if you're going to soften it a little, then you start to breathe. So that's just one example of that. If that's our state all the time, agitation, of nervousness, stress ng buhay, traffic, this and the other. So can you imagine how that interrupts our breathing? So now, whereas if you sit, it doesn't have to be, because if people think, okay, if I'm going to meditate, if I'm going to breathe, if I'm going to do this exercise, I need to find, isang sulok na walang ingay, na perfect lighting. That's not true. Kasi hindi naman tayo mga monks or, where were the origins of all of these things of meditation and even yoga, right? Usually in a monastery, in an ashram, away from the city, away from the stresses of life. But all of us today, tinatawag, they call us nga householders, right? Because we're normal, everyday people with a household to run, with a spouse, with children, with parents, with a job, with a boss, so with traffic, with the rain, with so all of these things, with bills, di ba? Natang siya sa buhay. Kaya minsan nga, even when I teach yung mga yoga and meditation, di ba, papasok yung mga bata, so magagalit yung kliyente ko. You cannot separate that. That's the reality of your life. So you have to learn to function with all of that. Yung ingay sa labas, yung ingay ng kapitbahay, yung ingay ng aso na nagtatahol, kasama yun sa buhay mo. Kung hindi mo ma-incorporate yan, di palagi na lang yung 1 hour lang. Tapos bukang 1 hour, okay, 1 hour.
O magagalit ka.
Yeah, di ba? Tapos pagkatapos ng 1 hour, pag galing mo sa yoga studio, galing mo sa sulok mong nice and peaceful, paglabas mo ng kwarto, ayan, reality hits you, anong gagawin mo? So you should be able to, like they say, even in doing laundry, even in doing the dishes, while driving through the traffic, yon. That's when you should practice all of these breathing exercises to get you through the moment. So like here, okay, we're seated here, right? Just a simple exercise. Find your most comfortable seated position. So dapat well supported. If you're sitting on a chair, well supported, yung ating sit bones, no? And then the back is nice and long and relaxed, nothing stiff, just nice and relaxed. Natural curve of the lower back, and your hands can either be facing up on your lap, right? Just relax on top of your lap, just put it on your lap, or it can be one on top of the other. Yeah, it can be either like this, relax, or it can just be on the lap, or it can be on top of your knees also. Okay, so close the eyes. Okay, so close your eyes and just try to bring your concentration to between the eyebrows. Okay. Just bring some energy there in between the eyebrows. Just listen to your natural breath. Okay? Kung paano talaga yung humihinga. Just listen to that. Just listen to the inhale, exhale, just your natural breathing.
Inaantok na ako.
Now try to slow it down even more. Try to make that inhale even longer without holding the breath at the end, and then just naturally exhale again. And then inhale, and exhale. Okay. Slowly bring yourself back to the room you're in. Slowly feel your hands that are on your lap, the chair underneath you. Okay? Feel yourself back where you are and just open your eyes. So like you said, even just those few seconds na naghihinga ka, diba umiba na? You start to relax, you start to slow it down. So this is the same thing. Yes. So this is part of, a healthy functioning. Just every, a few moments every day of just remembering to breathe. Listen. And also when you listen to the breath, you don't have time to think about other things. Right? So that's where the peacefulness comes in. So nawawala even yung surrounding noises and everything. Kasi you're concentrated, you go inwards nga. No? So you go in.
Tinatawag nilang no mind.
There's already no such thing. The moment you try to concentrate so much in not having a mind, you already stress yourself because you'll be like, am I meditating? Am I meditating? Am I not meditating? Why am I thinking? Diba? So that's why it starts always with just listening to the breath. Listening to the breath.
So kailangan pakinggan natin ang ating hininga, no?
Yes. Oo.
Just be connected with that.
Yes, exactly. That's it. When you're connected to yourself, then you become one with yourself, with your mind. Because there's no such thing as mindfulness and meditation doesn't mean necessarily serenity and not thinking about anything. It's how to do things with compassion, how to do things with intention. That's really what it is. So in that meditation, it's having intention for yourself with compassion, with this loving kindness towards yourself. That's the usual phrase ngayon, the loving kindness. So then once you have that, you're able to extend that to others. So this is where it becomes a healthy practice.
Para sa mga taong galit sa mundo, ito ba yung pinakamagaling na exercise?
It is, pero kagaya ng, kung nagugutom ka, di ba? It's so hard to exercise if you're hungry, correct? So if you're always angry, bawal also, yes. So same thing with when you're always in a state of anger. Bago ka pa makapaghinga ng mabuti, makapag-meditate, you have to also work on that first, di ba? This is an entirely different issue na. Kasi even to think of breathing and think of meditating and thinking of compassionate thoughts, if you're always angry at the world, always angry at something, you have to start there first. You have to look at that. Why am I in this state? Diba? Before you can even come to a place of stillness. Kasi that will keep interrupting. So it's not an easy off and on switch. Diba? Pag galit ka, that's why they say, like the thing when they say, bago ka sumigaw, count 1 to 10. Pero usually, yung sitwasyon, nangyari na sisigaw ka. Wala kang time, diba? It's at the moment. Wala kang time to think about it, to count. It's only when, for example, pauwi pa lang yung asawa mo, galit ka na. Doon, pwede mong pag-isipan muna, sige, hihinga muna ako. Diba? Kasi may time lag. Pero kung biglang nagkasalubong kayo, wala nang time lag yun, di ba? It's at the moment. So talaga may sigawan, may confrontation. So it's not, it's when people say that it's as simple as that one, as counting 1 to 10 before you get angry, before you react, it's never that simple.
So ano ang dapat natin gawin para sa kaalaman ng ating mga katribo? Let's say they want to do anger management. Ano ang pinakamagaling na tip?
Magaling na tip is you really have to look at why. You first have to look at yourself. Bakit? Diba? Bakit ba? Bakit ba ako laging galit sa mundo? Hindi lang pwede ako palaging biktima. Okay, so maski na palagi akong biktima, ano nga yung gagawin ko? Correct? So first you look at that. Then you use this aspects of breathing and meditation on a daily basis. Like anything, it's practice. Anything, it takes practice. It takes practice to change a behavior. It takes practice to learn a new behavior, right? So hindi lang pwede yung pag nangyari lang o paminsan-minsan lang. So kung galit ka sa mundo, talagang araw-araw dapat mo yan pag-isipan, di ba? You have to do some internal work. Talagang kailangan tingnan mo sarili mo. You have to look into the mirror and ask, bakit? Hindi lang, okay, maybe yes, palagi kong binibiktima. Okay, tanungin mo rin, ba't ako binibiktima? Correct?
Pareho din yung technique na yon para sa mga taong nadidepress o nalulungkot.
Yes, this also helps, all right? Because when you breathe, it also raises your oxygen levels, right? It helps your circulation, so that also helps you get. Because when you're depressed, let's say yung reaction ng depression mo ay gusto mo lang nasa kama, under the covers, hindi ka nagpa-function. But it also still takes your own personal effort. Hindi siya yung magic na bigla na lang may nangyayari. So part of that is the personal effort needed to change the situation.
Okay. All right. Ito na. Alam ko meron kayong mga workshops. Can you tell us more about it? Do you have any posters or photographs for us or things you have?
Yeah. Well, at the moment, everything's like unfortunately been disrupted a lot by COVID.
Yeah.
So the workshops that we're going to be doing are not going to be offered probably till later in the year, in the quarter. But we do offer meditation wellness weekends together with my teachers who do sound vibration wellness and meditation exercises. So we had one recently in Tanay, and there are some set even for doing wilderness meditation retreats.
Okay. Mga katribo, wag po kayong aalis. Babalik po kami.
Magandang araw mga katribo! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Comfy Manalo, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Jerk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas na ang mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Sama-sama natin alamin ang mga natatagong istorya sa mga latest na kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings, mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising Na!
Mga impormasyong direktang makukuha mula sa sources at diretsahang usapan. Yan ang ating daming sa inyo sa programang Straight Talk. Samahan nyo kami sa makabuluhang talakayan live tuwing Martes alas 10 ng umaga sa official Facebook page ng Daily Tribune at Tribune Now on YouTube. Be updated sa news and happenings katribu. Hatid ng Daily Tribune sa inyo ang mga balitang napapanahon sa loob at labas ng bansa. Kami na ang bahala sa paghahatid sa inyo ng mga latest and reliable news. We got you covered sa programang Tribune News on Q. Mapapanood mula umaga hanggang gabi, Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube.
Ayan, welcome back mga katribo. Pinag-uusapan po natin ang kapangyarihan ng paghinga po natin. Diba? As simple as breathing can be medicinal. Oh, with Baby Kramer. Okay, baby, let's continue.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good to be back. So,
yung workshops ninyo.
Okay.
How can people sign up for the workshop?
Okay, so you can contact me on either at the website, thecisaproject.com, and also at my email, franciskramer@gmail.com, and my number also is 0920-970-4685. I also work with another organization called B432 Wellness, and they have one-day retreats, weekend retreats. We've had them in Baguio, in Tanay, and soon I think also there will be in Cebu. But everything kasi right at the moment, unfortunately, di ba parang naka-cancel yung bagong project kasi biglang may COVID flare-ups again. So right now, it's really hard to say how the projects are moving along. So we're trying to do just personal groups na lang rather than opening it up to public groups. So if you have a group of people or your office or even in the schools or a group of friends who want it, we will curate a one-day workshop. That's how we're functioning at the moment. Kasi mahirap na yung open to the public, and then minsan pati yung lugar na binook namin, bigla pati yung staff nila nagkakatest ng positive, we suddenly have to cancel. That just happened again recently. So now we're trying to make it na lang parang bespoke, according to client needs and then at your location,
so
given the
private
parameters.
booking for special groups.
Yes. So if you feel that your group needs it, whether it be, again, I said, like recently we had a group of women friends. They were going through their own processing of, grief, changes in life, yung a lot of women nagiging empty nesters biglaan, di ba? So, or with everything, also our different stages in life, many are losing their parents. We're at that age group na madami are losing their parents. So we're doing also grief groups to learn to use breathing and mindfulness and meditation.
So, pwede rin kayong tumulong sa mga taong nasa what they call mourning period, no?
Yes. Yes.
So,
So,
ng kanilang mga minamahal sa buhay.
yes, and even when you have situations, I also work with people who are diagnosed with cancer and other illnesses and moments that are difficult, especially when you reach so we're talking already about, you know, life and death, you know, when you're given already a medical diagnosis of terminal illness. So we also help families with the passage. So these are, we call in the States, tawag kanila yung end of life doulas. No, that's the terminology. So we sit with the families. So like I myself, I'll sit with the family to help them through the period itself, the transition, and with the person themselves. So you can sit with the person and just work on that, diba? The whole turning back to the inside itself, finding peace with everyone around you also. And that also helps, you know, that breathing, and you just face one day at a time, one moment at a time, even within the day. Kasi minsan, pati sa isang araw, di ba, yung may one moment na you think you can handle everything. Tapos 5 seconds later, biglang iyak ka na lang, hindi mo na alam kung bakit, di ba, all of these emotions and everything. So we're there as support also. So that's an important like it's not really that talked about, especially here, but it's now emerging. Now people are more and more willing to talk about this one, having somebody come to help them process nga yung situation, the whole family, because each person in the family handles it differently also. Especially when you're given already the terminal diagnosis, mas mahirap kung biglaan kasi, di ba? Biglaan you have a death. It's painful, but there's none of that difficulty of how many days before, months before, of preparing, of waiting, of not knowing when. Diba? So,
ayun. Para sa mga kabataan na nakikinig ngayon, this time naman for the millennials and young adults,
yes.
What advice would you give them? They're starting out in life, they have many dreams, pati na rin sa mga mag-graduate or just newly graduated. Ano yung tips nyo to prepare them for life?
Yes. So in sitting in stillness, in this breathing, in this meditating, it also can help give you clarity of where you want to go through next, especially, you know, this millennials, this time period, yung kakagraduate mo lang, minsan, akala mo ito yung degree na gusto mo, this bigla na lang, di ba? Parang, ito ba gusto kong gawin? Ano bang magiging purpose ko in life? All of these big questions. So when you learn to sit still for a moment, na pwede mong hindi yung pinag-iisipan mo, like you allow it parang to just come, to like settle. No? Hindi yung trying hard na, okay, let me focus, let me plan, let me see where this is going. Ano kaya yung sinasabi ng universe sa akin, di ba? Yung too much of that. So a lot of it is sometimes just letting go and just letting yourself breathe, letting yourself have a chance to breathe. And then a lot of clarity can come from that. Might not be what you want, but it might be like the best decision, you know, what's needed at the moment. And this thing, it's a source of consoling.
Meron bang mga tinatawag nilang positive self-talk?
Yes. Okay. So there's
samples.
Okay. There's a difference between false positivity. False positivity is the one, ang dami nangyayari para sabihin, okay lang yan, bukas na naman, or like diba, tomorrow. If I pray hard enough, I work hard enough. So positive talk is when you tell yourself, I'm a good person, right? I'm a good person. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a good person. So one of our meditation teachers said, okay, put your right hand over your left and give yourself a big hug and tell yourself, I love you. Then she said, now reverse the arms and tell your evil twin, I love you too.
Lahat ba tayo may evil twin?
We have that evil twin that when something goes wrong, yung minsan mo tell yourself, ay, kasi you know, tanga-tanga ko kasi, hindi ko ginawa, or ba't ko ginawa yon, or shit, sayang, o yung I didn't study hard enough, or I didn't take that opportunity, or I was too scared, sana ginawa ko na lang, di ba, a lot of times, or masama akong tao, di ba? And sometimes we hear it also, parents, you sometimes have to watch out also, di ba, how we talk to our children and how, that when we tell them, ikaw kasi, tanga-tanga mo, hindi mo ginawa. So when somebody hears that, then they go back to themselves and they go, oh nga, no, tanga ko nga, no, shit, sayang lang. Wala kang silbi, all of those things. So that's where the positive.
Wala kang utak, hindi mo ginagamit ang utak mo. Parang
yeah. So rather than working on it, because sometimes in our love language, no, so that's what I even tell some of my adolescents and children. Minsan yung mga magulang, sa panic nila, sa gusto nila dapat yung buhay mo, sometimes better than theirs, di ba? Nakita nila yung magkamali nila. Nakikita mo, gagawin mo rin. So sa panic nila, yung lumalabas na love language is like, I love you, pero huwag mong gawin yan. Di ba? Rather than, look, you know, this is what happened. Kasi minsan na yung mga kabataan, nangyari din sa atin, di ba? Hindi natin pinakinggan yung ating mga magulang minsan. So the same cycle happens. But so that's where the difference between positive self-talk and false positivity, right? False positivity is telling somebody, like I come to you crying and you tell me, but cheer up. Anyway, you know, you have a house. Parang ganon, di ba? Don't, so you belittle the problems, right? The positivity would be, I hear you, I'm glad you came to me, and I'm of service to you. So you do that to yourself. You tell yourself, I hear myself, that one. That's self-soothing. It's good to do that. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, you know, and just talk to yourself kindly. If you've made mistakes, forgive yourself for your mistakes, right? Forgive yourself for your mistakes. And just that one, take a deep breath and then think about, okay, where do I take things from here?
Yan, ang ganda nun, mga katribo. Forgive yourself. Yan ang pinakamahirap gawin, di ba? Sometimes we are so hard on ourselves. Mga katribo, napakagandang leksyon yan. Napakagandang tip. Forgive yourself. Patawarin natin ang ating sarili.
And don't forget, hug your evil twin. Hug the evil twin also. Also, the evil twin needs love and affection.
Oo nga, diba? Ayun.
Yes.
Baby Kramer, thank you so much for the
Thank you so much.
Yung contact numbers po ni Baby Kramer. Ulitin natin, baby. Contact.
Okay, yes. So, cell phone is 0920-970-4685. Website is thesisaproject.com. After Sisa from Jose Rizal's Dolly Vitangere. She is my archetype. And yes, and then email is franceskramer@gmail.com.
Okay. I know, baby, pwede kong i-announce, magiging speaker ka sa Hope for Seniors doon sa Paraiso ni Tony Meloto. We will feature also the Paraiso.
Okay, yes, please. Thank you for the invite. Looking forward to that and inviting everybody who can come, make it. And they'll offer it also on Zoom, I believe, no? Participation, yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
Abangan po kasi we'll do another feature on that, special feature on that. Marami pong salamat sa inyo, Baby Kramer. And yes, we will forgive ourselves and breathe.
Yes.
Ako naman, smile.
Smile. That's important too. Okay, thank you so much, Cory. Maraming salamat din sa inyong lahat. Okay,
Namaste.
thank you. Peace. Salamat.
Yan po mga katribo ang ating episode ngayon. Breathe, the art of healing with Baby Kramer. Stay safe, everyone, and be happy. Ako po si Cory Quirino.
We would like to thank the following: Araneta, Pag-ibig, SM Supermall, Veteran, Divina Law Offices, ICTSI, Xlog, Globe, Kia, PLDT, Cherry, Tanawan, Prime Homes, RLC, Pure Gold, Meralco, and SM Retail.